There is a lie that has been whispered into your ear since the day you started dreaming about a better life. It is a seductive, paralyzing, and utterly destructive lie. The lie is this: I will start building my wealth when I have enough money. You tell yourself that you need a bigger salary, a smaller rent, a paid-off car, or a fat inheritance before you can take that first step. You look at your bank account, you see the meager number staring back at you, and you convince yourself that you are simply not equipped to play the game of wealth. You are waiting for a financial miracle to strike before you even lift a finger. But let me tell you the brutal, unvarnished truth that will either set you free or keep you enslaved forever. You are not waiting for money. You are waiting for permission. You are waiting for a level of comfort that will never come. And while you are waiting, your life is passing you by, one paycheck at a time, one missed opportunity at a time, one regret at a time. The greatest fortunes in human history were not built by people who had a surplus of capital. They were built by people who had a surplus of resourcefulness. They were built by people who looked at their empty pockets and said, I may not have cash, but I have a brain, I have 2 hands, and I have a fire in my belly that no amount of money can buy. Stop waiting for money. Start with what you have right now, in this very moment, because what you have is far more powerful than you realize. Let us dissect the psychology of this waiting game. When you tell yourself you need more money to start, you are engaging in a form of learned helplessness. You are abdicating your responsibility to a variable that is completely outside your control. You cannot control the economy, you cannot control the stock market, and you cannot control your boss's decision to give you a raise. But you can control what you do with the 24 hours you have today. You can control the knowledge you consume, the skills you sharpen, and the connections you make. By waiting for money, you are giving your power away. You are saying, I am a victim of my circumstances, and I refuse to act until the circumstances change. But the circumstances will never change if you do not act. The world does not reward people who wait. It rewards people who move. Wealth flows to action, not to inaction. The universe responds to velocity, not to paralysis. When you start moving, even with nothing, the universe conspires to meet you. When you stand still, you become invisible. You are invisible to opportunity. You are invisible to luck. You are invisible to the very forces of compounding that could have made you rich. You must become visible. You must start swinging. You must start building. Think about the concept of resourcefulness versus resources. Resources are what you have: your bank account, your property, your physical assets. Resourcefulness, on the other hand, is the ability to create value out of thin air. It is the ability to solve a problem using only your wits. It is the ability to negotiate, to barter, to adapt, and to overcome. The wealthy person is not the one who inherits $1 million. The wealthy person is the one who can lose $1 million and make it back in a year. The wealthy person is the one who can be dropped in a foreign city with no money and be thriving within a week. That is not because they have a secret bank account. That is because they have a secret mindset. They understand that money is simply a representation of value. And if you can create value, you can create money. You do not need $1 to create value. You need an idea. You need a problem that you can solve. You need a service you can provide. Think about the barber shop, the landscaping business, the house cleaning service, the tutoring gig. None of these require $1 million loan to start. They require a pair of scissors, a lawnmower, a mop, or a working brain. You have those things already. You are just refusing to use them because you think they are not enough. They are enough. You are enough. But you have to prove it to yourself. Consider the story of any self-made millionaire you admire. Did they start with a pile of cash? Almost certainly not. They started with an idea and an unshakable determination. They started with their 2 feet and a willingness to wear out the soles of their shoes. They started by knocking on doors that were closed to them. They started by making phone calls that went unanswered. They started by trading their time for a chance, their effort for a foothold, their sweat for a single dollar. And then they took that single dollar and they made it multiply. They did not wait for the perfect business plan. They started with a messy, imperfect attempt. They did not wait for the perfect investor. They started with their own meager savings and a credit card. They did not wait for a mentor. They started by reading books and making mistakes. The waiting game is a luxury reserved for the fearful. The wealthy do not wait. They act. They act with incomplete information. They act with insufficient capital. They act with flawed tools. But they act. And action, even imperfect action, beats inaction every single time. Let me tell you about the power of leverage. When you do not have money, you have leverage in other forms. You have the leverage of time. You are younger today than you will ever be again. You have the leverage of energy. You are stronger and more resilient than you will be in 20 years. You have the leverage of desperation. Desperation is a fuel that can move mountains. When you are hungry, you hunt harder. When you have nothing to lose, you take risks that the wealthy cannot take. The wealthy are often paralyzed by their fear of losing what they have. They are conservative, they are cautious, they are stuck. But you have the freedom of having nothing to lose. That is a terrifying place to be. But it is also the most dangerous place for the status quo. A person with nothing to lose is a person who can change the world. You are willing to work 18 hours a day because you have no choice. You are willing to sleep on a couch to save rent. You are willing to eat ramen to invest every spare dollar. The wealthy cannot do that. They are too soft. They are too comfortable. You are hard. You are hungry. And your hunger is the greatest asset you possess. Now, let us get specific. What do you actually have right now? You have a device. You are watching this video on a smartphone or a computer. That device is the most powerful tool for wealth creation ever invented. With this device, you can access the entire accumulated knowledge of human history. You can learn coding, marketing, copywriting, or sales. You can open an online store for free. You can start a YouTube channel, a podcast, or a newsletter. You can connect with people on the other side of the world. All of this costs nothing. The barrier to entry is zero. Yet, you sit there, scrolling aimlessly, waiting for money to fall into your lap. You are holding a nuclear reactor of potential in your hands, and you are using it to watch cat videos. Start using your device to create. Start using your device to learn. Start using your device to build an audience. If you have a voice, you can speak. If you can write, you can sell. If you can type, you can code. You have the tools of the modern economy right there in your pocket. Do not tell me you have nothing. You have the world's greatest library and the world's greatest marketplace in your pocket. The only thing missing is your will to use it. There is a concept in entrepreneurship called bootstrapping. It means building a business with your own resources without taking on external debt or investment. It is the purest form of capitalism. It is the art of making a little go a long way. Bootstrappers do not wait for the perfect office. They work from their kitchen table. Bootstrappers do not wait for the perfect website. They build a free page on social media. Bootstrappers do not wait for a team. They do the work themselves. Bootstrappers are resourceful. They learn to fix their own computers. They learn to design their own logos. They learn to handle their own customers. They do not outsource their problems because they cannot afford to. And in learning to do everything themselves, they develop a depth of knowledge that the lazy, moneyed entrepreneur will never possess. When you start with what you have, you are forced to become a master of every aspect of your venture. That mastery is your competitive advantage. That mastery is your moat. That mastery is what will protect you when the big players enter your market. You will be lean, you will be mean, and you will be impossible to kill. Stop looking at the horizon for a ship that is never coming. Stop waiting for a bailout. Stop waiting for the economy to improve. Stop waiting for the political landscape to change. You do not have time for that. You are going to die one day. That sounds morbid, but it is the most liberating truth you will ever hear. You are going to die, and you are going to take your unrealized potential with you. The only thing standing between you and your millionaire destiny is the false belief that you need more money to start. You do not need $1,000. You need $100 and a plan. You do not need $100. You need $10 and a list of potential clients. You do not even need $10. You need a phone and a willingness to make 100 phone calls. Rejection is a part of the process. Beginnings are always messy. The first draft is always bad. The first attempt is always a failure. But that failure is the tuition you pay for success. The tuition is cheap compared to the cost of never starting at all. The cost of never starting is the cost of your entire life. Are you willing to pay that price? Let me tell you a secret about the wealthy that they do not put in their biographies. Many of them started by taking a small, seemingly insignificant action that snowballed into something massive. The first sale is the hardest. The first client is the hardest. The first dollar is the hardest. It is psychologically difficult to ask for money. It is psychologically difficult to put yourself out there and risk rejection. But the moment you get that first dollar, a magical thing happens. The psychological barrier shatters. You realize that you can do it. You realize that the universe is not hostile to your ambition. You realize that value creation is a real, tangible process. That first dollar validates your existence as an economic actor. It proves that you are not just a consumer. You are a producer. It proves that you are not just a passenger on this planet. You are a driver. So what is your first dollar going to be? Are you going to mow a lawn? Are you going to walk a dog? Are you going to write a resume for a friend? Are you going to sell an old shirt on an app? Take your pride and throw it out the window. You are not too good to make that first dollar. The guy who is too good to make $1 is the guy who will never make $1 million. The guy who will do anything legal to earn $1 is the guy who eventually runs the empire. Be that guy. Now let us address the fear of looking small. You are afraid that if you start small, people will think you are a failure. You are afraid to tell your family that you are starting a business with no capital. You are afraid to tell your friends that you are saving every penny. You are afraid to look poor. But let me ask you something. Who are you trying to impress? The people who are judging you are the same people who are drowning in debt. They are the same people who are terrified of their own financial future. Why are you taking financial advice from broke people? Why are you letting the opinions of the financially illiterate dictate the trajectory of your life? You have to develop a thick skin. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. You have to be willing to look foolish while you are building your foundation. The world is full of critics who have never built anything. Their opinions are worthless. The only opinion that matters is the opinion of your future self. Your future self is looking back at you right now with tears in their eyes, begging you to ignore the noise and take the first step. Do not let your future self down. There is a beautiful simplicity in starting with what you have. It forces you to be creative. Creativity is the art of doing more with less. When you have $1 million, you can just throw money at problems. You can buy your way out of trouble. But when you have nothing, you have to think your way out. You have to innovate. You have to find unconventional solutions. This is how real breakthroughs are made. Many of the world's greatest inventions came from people who were too poor to do it the expensive way. They had to invent a cheaper way, a faster way, a better way. Necessity is the mother of invention. And you are full of necessity. You are full of the need to succeed. That need is a blessing. It is a driving force that will push you to heights you never thought possible. Embrace your poverty of capital. It is the fertilizer for the garden of your genius. Use it to grow something magnificent. You must also realize that money is a byproduct of solving problems. You are so focused on the byproduct that you have forgotten the product itself. You are trying to chase the money directly, but money runs away when you chase it. Money is shy. It likes to be courted. It likes to be seduced by the person who is busy doing something useful. If you want to attract money, you must stop thinking about it and start thinking about the value you can provide. Who is in pain? Who is struggling? Who needs help? Who is willing to pay for a solution to their problem? Find that person. Focus your entire attention on that person. Build a solution for that person. The money will follow as a natural consequence. You cannot force it. You have to earn it by being so valuable that the market cannot ignore you. When you are a problem solver, you are indispensable. And indispensable people are never broke. They have the luxury of picking and choosing their clients. They set their own prices. They build their own wealth. Start solving a problem for just one person today. Solve it for free if you have to. Learn from that experience, then solve it for 2 people. Then charge them. You are building a muscle. You are building a track record. You are building a reputation. And reputation is worth more than gold. There is an old saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is right now. You have heard it before. But have you truly internalized it? You are holding a seed in your hand. You are looking at the ground and you are wondering if you should plant it. You are wondering if the soil is good enough. You are wondering if the weather is right. You are worried about the rain and the frost. But the seed will never grow into a tree if it stays in your hand. It will die in your hand. You have to put it in the ground, even if the ground is rocky. You have to water it, even if you are not sure it will sprout. You have to have faith in the process. The process of building wealth is the same. You have to plant the smallest seed of effort. You have to water it with daily discipline. You have to protect it with unwavering focus. And you have to wait. But the waiting is active, not passive. You are not waiting for money to appear. You are waiting for the harvest while you are continuously planting more seeds. That is the difference. The rich plant seeds every single day. The poor wait for the fruit to fall from an empty tree. Be the planter. be the gardener of your own destiny. So here is your final challenge. I want you to turn off this video and take one single action. Do not overthink it. Do not plan it for tomorrow. Do not wait for the weekend. Do it right now. If you have a skill, sell it. If you have a product, list it. If you have a network, call them. If you have a problem, research a solution. Do something that moves the needle from 0 to 1. That 1 is the most important number in the universe. It is the number of creation. Once you have a 1, you can turn it into a 2, then a 4, then 100. But you must have the courage to create the 1. You have everything you need. You have your brain, your hands, your voice, your device, and your drive. Money is just a lazy, stubborn servant that only responds to action. It is ignoring you right now because you are ignoring it. You are not showing it that you are serious. Show it. Show it that you are a force to be reckoned with. Show it that you are willing to fight, to bleed, to fail, and to get back up. Show it that you are worthy of its attention. And when you finally do, when you finally stop waiting and start doing, you will look back on this moment as the turning point of your entire life. The era of waiting is over. The era of doing has begun. Go out there and take what is yours. You have everything you need. You always did. You just needed someone to tell you to wake up. Consider yourself awakened. Now go.